Well, welcome to No Strings Attached Street Ministry. Funny thing is everything goes full circle, right? Year 2003, 12/20 is when I saw my miracle. It's exactly 1 month from then. That's when I was saved. But after I saw that miracle, I was convinced that God is real. He promised me at that time that He would show me miracles to keep my faith. Sadly, I had to have that because I was one of those doubting Thomases. So I said, okay, Lord, use me. I mean, if that's what you want. I feel the call. You want me to do something, so by all means, use me. If there's any way that I could do something for your kingdom, I will. On January 11th, 2004, at 1:11 p.m., I was sitting at a park doing my morning devotions and hanging out at the park pretty much the rest of the day. It was a pretty little park. And then at 1:11, so it was just after lunch. 1:11 is when I first saw my three numbers together. And I always considered those as just a kiss from my angels. I always did. And I see those 10 times every day of my life, honestly. It's that common. And I've got proof of that. I've got pictures of all the different ways. I mean, on my speedometer, on my time on my clock, in the van, to when I open up my screenshots, from my phone. Just on and on and on. But 1:11 is probably at least 90% of them. And I've joked about it, with a few people. I mean, my daughter likes it. She gets them once in a while. And so every time one of us gets one, we always just, phone shoot it, screenshot it, whatever, and send it to each other. So we've got our communications between each other is loaded with these pictures over the years. But I probably got 1 million of them. Honestly, that's how often it is. It's funny, but hey, the way I look at it is, yeah, they say that they're angel numbers and all this. Do I believe in that? No, not really. I look at it as just a way it's like a confirmation for me that, that God has sent the angels to kiss me and to look after me. And plus, trust me, they do. They really do. Without them, I'd be in a lot of trouble. So that day is the day that I started my homeless ministry. Prayed about it all that morning. That's really what I was getting to do. I mean, I've been tugged on my heart over and over and over for it. A couple weeks before that, and refused and resisted, but I decided, you know what? I don't have very much to offer. That's why I couldn't understand why God was calling me into that, as I had really nothing to give to them. I mean, I was in really bad shape myself financially. I was basically an invalid at that time. I was injured. I couldn't even hardly move around. Had a really hard time, but I said, well, the love and compassion that Jesus put in my heart definitely done something and changed me. So I got to have faith in that, because I can't have faith, and it took me to have miracles for God to show me that He's real, which was a lack of my faith. So I had to prove to Him that I did have faith, and I trusted and believed in that faith. So that's why I did what I did. And so I started the homeless ministry, and it went really well, trust me. I mean, you can go way back in my archives and you can find a lot of videos about that. That's when the YouTube channel started, was, back early in them days. That's when the prayer truck started back in early in them days. You can show how I mean, you can see those videos, and you can see God written all through them. And even all through me. Oh, it's hot out here today. Yeah, it's like crazy hot. It's like 97 degrees, 100% humidity. It's just like, I mean, I'm in summertime in Florida. What do you expect, right? And it looks like it's just about ready to rain, so it's almost crazy. But anyway, back to my story. My daughter and her husband had moved back from Philadelphia back down to see us, in Florida. And the reason that they came down was really just to get a little closer to home. But, they wanted a difference. They didn't really care too much for the winters up there. They were really brutal. They lived in the city, so they had to walk everywhere. So in the wintertime, it was really hard on them both, getting back and forth to work. So they'd come on down. And I said, why not, I mean, the house is empty. There's not really anyone there. It's just me and the wife, so we're empty nesters, We got a big house, 3 bedrooms, and just me and her, and a dog. So they came down. It's actually been pretty nice having them all around. It really has. But anyway, she decided she wanted to change her career. So she went and got her credentials and stuff to become a school teacher as well. I guess she followed Mama's footsteps, right? So now I have a 2nd grade teacher of a wife and a kindergarten teacher as my daughter. Well, they both started school this last week or so. I think last week was their first week in school. Of course, it's been crazy, and you know how it is with these little kids. They're like little snot rockets, I've been used to that my whole life. But they've been a lot of them sick this year, and, a lot of concerns and things. Well, anyway, my daughter came home this weekend not feeling very well. I was been in my man cave, which is an isolated room, and I turned my son's old room into a man cave. It's got my music equipment in there, my computer, and, pretty much anything and everything that I normally like to do is inside that room. And I got a couch in there and things, to hang out in, a desk, and, so I do a lot there. They came home, and usually my daughter is the type with, relationship with me. We've always been very close. And when she would come home and see me, she would always, come over and sit on my lap and give me kisses and hugs. And, just like she was 5, 6 years old. She's done that her whole life. And I'll never refuse that from any of my kids. Even my son does it from time to time, and he's 32 years old. So it's just the way it is, I love my kids, and I'll never deny them of any kind of love that they need. And but just some reason for this weekend just never happened. She got in real late. I'd already eaten dinner, so I was already in my room doing stuff when she got in, and I don't know. I heard her there. She ended up in her room, I guess because she wasn't feeling very well. So her and her husband went to their room and pretty much hung out the rest of the night. But she wasn't feeling good, so she went out and early that morning, before I even hardly got up, and went and had a test for COVID because she was not feeling good. So she was wanting to make sure she wasn't sick. Well, I come back this morning as positive. Well, that's terrible news, especially for my wife. See, her father died last year of COVID. But that's what they said anyway, but he was in a nursing home with dementia. But I mean, there was 1 minute he was just fine, and then within a couple of days he was already dead. And it just literally ripped my wife's heart out. You can see that. So now she's trying to accept and deal with, the daughter. Of course, her and the daughter's been very close since she's been home. I mean, they all three of them had the COVID shot. I did not have the shot. I don't believe in the shot, so I refused the shot. And all three of them, so they felt they were immune to her. Hope and pray that she is, but I mean, if she got it after having a shot, who knows? Maybe they'll all get it as well. So I mean, I didn't no more get up this morning and come out because I worked late last night in the room and ended up falling asleep on the couch, and that's where I stayed all night. For some reason, that's just where God put me to sleep. So I woke up this morning and walked out, and she heard me stumbling around, I guess, out there, and she come right out and says, warning, your daughter's sick with COVID. So you need to stay in your room and isolate yourself in the room and don't come out. We'll set your meals at the door and on and on. I'm like, no, that's fine. Because I can't take that risk because I wasn't even vaccinated, so I'm not going to sit around and at least, sit in the same house. I don't know how that disease works and if it's airborne or what, so, I mean, who knows? It probably already went through the air conditioning ducts. I'm sick anyway. Who knows? I don't know. I don't feel sick, but I guess, it takes a while for it to incubate. So apparently I got to isolate for 14 days. So say a prayer for me and the family, especially the girls. After going through all that they went through, taking the test and everything else and getting the shots and starting their weeks in school, as school teachers, and it's just heartbreaking to even have to deal with this nonsense. That's the reason that they took the shots, because of the kind of work that they did. But it is what it is. But I packed the bag and I left the house, and because I've got the van, so it's like, I've done that many times before, and plus I've been planning on taking a good roundabout trip anyway. So I haven't been on one in a while. So I ended up today, I drove around just sort of in a daze. So I sat here and started just making this video at 1:11, and when I saw that, and I took a picture of the screenshot, I just started cracked up. Because I'm sitting exactly at the same park, the exact same table that I was praying the day that I started this ministry. And now I found myself full circle, because I finally find myself homeless as well. Let that sink in. I spent, 18 years of my life scrapping together every single penny I could possibly drum up, sacrificing to give love and pass love to all His people. And honestly, there's been a lot of miracles through it. I've seen every bit of it, and I would do it all over, every bit of it today. I wouldn't even think twice about it, especially after the ride that I've been through. But I find myself full circle, and it's almost funny. It's almost like, I sort of expected that, to talk about an ultimate kick in the teeth for the devil to smack me down and put me right back where I started from at the exact same minute and hour. Oh my gosh, what else can happen, right? I don't know. The worst thing is, not only is it the same day, it's probably been one of the leanest and the toughest toughest months and weeks of this whole journey. I mean, it's been hard to scrape 2 pennies together this month for some reason. I went back and start my generator up and was thinking about, well, turn on my AC, and then when I walked around the van, I realized my generator don't work no more. I don't even have it. I'm like, crap. Here I am in Florida in August, in the middle of the summertime. Florida in the summertime with no generator, no way to keep your van cool is almost impossible situation to live in. I don't have the gas money to drive anywhere. Even if I did drive to the mountain ranges, to get up in elevation and to stay cooler, even the Smoky Mountains isn't that much cooler. So I would have to drive plumb across the country into the, probably the Sahara, or even out into Colorado or something, to get in mountains that you could do that in. And that's at least 2,000-3,000, I don't know, probably 2,000 miles at least from where I'm at. So that's out of the case. Yeah, it's been a little tough, so I can't afford to get a motel room. So what would you do? Just try to sit out here in the park, I guess, and grab my sleeping bag and maybe sleep on top of this picnic table here for a couple evenings. I don't know. I really don't have anywhere to go. And my house is all filled with sickness right now, so I can't go there. I can't go out into the garage because it's just as hot out there, if not worse. I mean, everywhere at my house, the driveway and all is like a really strong pitch. I mean, it's nowhere near level anywhere, so I can't even go there and just sleep in the driveway. Nowhere to park my van to get level. So I don't know. Hey, pray something, something comes up, something manifests, I guess, to see what I can do to where the Lord will take care of me. I'm sure He will. He's always never let me down. He's always protected me. I've been in some pretty bad situations over the years, and He's always pulled through for me. So let's see if He still continues to do so. But anyway, just figured I would share with you guys what's been going on and what my week's been like, what my day is like. You gotta laugh about it, right? That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Definitely pray with my family. They don't deserve this, man. They've tried and tried and tried to be the best that they could be. As much as they've sacrificed to end up like this, it's almost cruel. But that just goes to show you just how cruel this pandemic is. Even if you believe in it or not, people are getting sick for some reason. I don't know what that sickness is. And it's most likely just a normal flus and stuff like that that's going on. Who knows? Who knows what it is? I don't know. I'm not going to claim it. Usually the flu season is the summertime here in Florida anyway. You got to realize what is the flu season. Flu season up north is when everyone's getting buckled up in their house and they circulate in the same air inside and they breathe in the same air over and over and over. One little bug gets in the house and before you know it, everybody's coming down with the flu and you pass around the rest of until summertime when you can walk out the door. Summertime kicks in Florida. They all come down here in the wintertime. You know, all the snowbirds come down and they're down here and they get all the kids and they're loving on all the babies and grandkids. They get them all sick. And then they bolt back north. Well, then it starts the flu season down here. Then by that time that they're leaving and going back home, then it's starting to get so hot outside to where you have to pretty much keep the air conditioning on and you have to stay inside. So everybody in Florida is all stuffed inside and they're breathing the same air and same thing. Just a different part of the year, different part of the season. And have a cold and the flu and that kind of stuff in the summertime when it's hot, that's the most nastiest, hardest thing you could ever possibly do. It's miserable. It's miserable. Anyway. Pretty crazy. But just the way it is, I guess. Things we gotta live with and get through. I mean, her son or her husband, when he first moved down here, he was sick and he thought he had COVID, and he went and got 2 different tests that they said he was positive. And then all of a sudden he went back for the other test, the long-term test, the one that took the longest to go and I guess get identified, and found out that he wasn't. And of course his little sniffles ended and he was fine for, a year? No one else got sick then. Is that what's going on with my daughter right now? I don't know. I mean, he doesn't seem sick. Of course, she's only been here Friday night. And it's Saturday afternoon right now. Or, it's Sunday afternoon. So, Friday night I wasn't really around, so. Like I said, it was just really weird that I didn't even have contact with my daughter since she's been back this weekend. And that's very rare for me. I mean, very rare. Who knows, maybe the angels was protecting me that way. I don't know. But anyway, no matter what, I've got to quarantine for 14 days. I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Just to make sure that we're not sick and we stay safe as well. I hope she doesn't come down with any kind of sickness. That would just literally destroy me. I mean, I love my girls and I love my family, so it would literally break my heart, if something would ever go wrong with them and they would suffer. But it is what it is. God's got my back, I know He does. So I have no problem with that. My faith is strong. It is. God's got a certain plan. And like I said, if I even get sick or whatever, that's a plan as well. I have no problem with that. I always said that if I was ever going to get taken out in this world, it was going to be by something that I prayed about. I always said I was going to die of everything. Brain cancer, colon cancer, stomach cancer, any kind of cancers you could possibly think of. It's probably just going to eat my entire body up. Strokes, heart attacks, you name it, all that stuff that I prayed about. But I've seen many, many, many miracles from all these things across the country and all the prayers. For years, I collected all these prayers and we prayed on this stuff. So I've seen a lot of miracles. So just keep your faith, keep it going. Well, anyway, if you'd like to help me out, help the channel out, hey, I'll have the information there for PayPal and Cash App. I'll be down in the description for you. At least do me a favor and at least say a little prayer. But just sort of give you a clue of what's going on in my end of the world. So, and I'll stay in contact with you over the next few days just to let you know how I'm feeling and let you know what's going on. And hey, together we'll get through it, right? All the warriors of God come together and pray for each other once in a while. And that's just the way it is. Because we will not be defeated. Anyway, have a great day. May God bless you all.